I'm Keisha the Beauty Pro. I built a 6-figure beauty business with 9 fingers and no money. Today, I will be showing you the main skill I use to get started. Today, I will be teaching you how I create seamlessly flat sew-ins the 9-finger way. Okay, let's get into it. If y'all ready, type in the comments that y'all ready to learn the 9-finger way. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, now I am starting this sewing off with a double weft already folded. I like to start in the end that's already folded, like over there in the corner. I like to start right there where my thumb is. I like to start right there, and then I like to place that in the corner on the left side where I'm going to start my first stitch. Now usually I sew from left to right. Okay, then I reverse it and go back the opposite way. So I have my pre-threaded C-shaped needle and my favorite polyester thread, and I'm just going to make the first stitch going directly through the fold that's starting from my left, bringing the needle through the net, through the braid, and up through the weft, taking that needle right through the middle of the thread. So you know, when you tie the thread, you have 2 dangling pieces. So I like to go right through the middle of that, and I like to do this because it creates a interlocked stitch that I like to use. That's just part of my method. When I first start off, I do like 2 single stitches, and then after my 2 single stitches, I begin doing the interlocking stitch. So I use this method when I'm doing my sew-ins because I feel like it's more secure. I call it securing the stitch when the stitches are locked in place. You don't have to worry about your clients coming back asking you, can you retighten anything, or complaining about wefts hanging. So when my clients come sit in my chair, they know they ain't going to be no loose strings hanging, and you don't have to worry about none of that, okay? Especially when you interlocking your stitch the right way, okay? So when I'm doing my sew-ins, my favorite thing is to make sure that I'm securing the wefts with every stitch. Now, sometimes I do slip and I only do a traditional stitch, but for the most part, all my stitches are interlocked, and I'm at the end of this particular weft. So now it's time for me to do the fold over, okay? So when I'm folding over, this is what I like to do. I take the weft that's closest to the skin, and I fold it over, and I'm sewing through that corner of that weft, through the fold of that weft, and I'm doing 2 single stitches around before I actually do a interlocking stitch. Like I said before, I like to do 2 stitches, single stitches, because it helps the fold over lay flatter. Okay, now I've actually folded all the way up into the crease where I'm going to fold it, and then I fold it over and I do an additional 2 single stitches, which means these stitches are not interlocking, because when I do this, it makes it lay flatter. Now when you interlock in a corner, you see this corner right here, when you interlock in a corner and it doesn't lay flat, then you just take that loose and do a single stitch. Okay, now sometimes I go all the way up to the anchor braid that's closest to the leave out, and sometimes I don't. Right here I did not go all the way up, so I'm just separating one of the wefts away from the other weft, and I'm sewing one of the wefts up to the anchor braid, and I'm cutting it. Now the part that I'm not cutting, I'm just going to keep sewing that until it's out, just to keep my rhythm flowing. So I want to get a close-up of how my fold over is so flat when I pull it back, but I didn't do that. Sorry, y'all. As you can see, that is flat. Now I have gone over to the other side of my sew-in, right? The other side where the bang is going to be. And when I get toward the front top of the anchor braid, sometimes I like to sew with single stitches, just so that that part lays flat and stays in place. Now I'm going to be doing a full bang, and I promise, if you have clients with thin hair and they bang don't be like full, this right here is going to keep them coming back. When you build that front bang area up to where when they swing, they bang and they come back and it still be full and not see-through, woo, clients really love that, y'all, for real. Now I'm making sure that my stitches are secured and still tension free. And hey, listen, I'm almost done. I done sewed all that up. I went back and forth, and now I just am filling in that U, because you know, once you get done, you create a horseshoe. So I'm filling in the horseshoe until I get finished, till I get all the way to the top. Y'all, every client is different, so sometimes, you know, you might be able to finish the whole sew-in with even amount of wefts on both sides, and sometimes one side has more wefts than the other. Okay, so right here I am knotting my needle. That's what I do after every single stitch when my thread runs out. And then in order for me to make sure that this grows out seamlessly flat, I go ahead and reinforce my thread. The train track that is already done from the previous interlocking stitch, I go ahead and I reinforce the whole entire perimeter of this area. And this just, to me, I think this helps when the sew-ins grow out to keep them close to the scalp and not raised up. It's not totally something you have to do, but I just do it and I like my method. It's called the Beauty Pro method for a reason, because I do it. I made this up and it works for me and my clients love it. Now, all of this is only the thread and the net. I'm not going through the braid. I'm not going through, sometimes I go through the weft, but majority of it is the thread. The thread, the net, and the weft. That's why I like to use nets, because you can grab anywhere you put the needle through, and hey, it'll be secure and safe still. There will be no tension. This is what I'm doing. I'm not putting any tension on her hair. Like I said, I'm going through the weft and the net, and that's it. And then once I get to the end, I take my time and I'm cutting off each slot of the net so that I do not cut off my client's hair, because sometimes the hair is so close to the net, because the net tightens as you sew it, that I don't want to cut their hair. So I do one slit at a time. Okay, now this is baby the Beauty Pro method. You ain't never seen it done like this nowhere before. And baby, listen, if you ain't never been in my chair and had one of these, baby, you done missed out. Okay, now when I do the straightening out the leave out, you see how flat that is? Yes, you see how flat that is? Flat, undetectable. Yes. When I'm straightening my leave out, I like to straighten in sections. Take smaller sections, and I like to press it out first. Sometimes I press it with a pressing comb first, and sometimes I flat iron it first. It just depends on my day. Now, I don't like to have a lot of product on the hair when I'm pressing it. I usually just use BioSilk and a heat protector, and it does just fine as long as I am pressing and silking out in smaller sections. Well, here is the final. Well, that's all, y'all. Thanks for watching. I pray my method helps you as just as much as it helped me. If you ever feel stuck, take your time, study what you're doing wrong, and give yourself grace. Now, I originally released this video back in 2018. I have had so many good reviews. As you can see, I was in a home. Within a few months later, I secured my first salon while I was on Section 8 in a whole nother state. I didn't have no money or nothing, y'all. But look at it. Yeah! That's another story for another time. Let me know if you would like to book a one-on-one or learn how to turn this skill into a billion-dollar beauty brand. Let me know what y'all think about this method and what other videos y'all would like to see. Until next time, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, love, and seamlessly flat installs only, baby.